flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Got a full house, Jessica. Everybody's here. And
Reduce your office supplies budget.
now the minutes is,
The
the minutes is a ton of these appropriations we did. So that was already kind of written back and forth, so I don't think we'll worry about that part of the minutes, okay? Is there any part here?
Mostly the votes, right?
Yeah, it's just the first two pages there, yeah.
Are our minutes, well, first I'll make a motion to approve the minutes as presented so we can discuss them. Okay. Are our minutes reflective of the, are they correct or do they have that error in them that was corrected at the Board of Selectmen's, at the town meeting where it had to be moved
Well,
on?
they had to take that first appropriation off because they had the Great Oak School twice.
It was only wrong at town meeting.
Okay,
That's why it didn't come back to you, it just went right back to
Yeah,
another
because
town meeting.
even when I read the appropriation, it was correct. It just, when I got it into the paper, it got incorrect.
okay.
Okay, that's on the first page. The rest of the other meeting is, public hearing, special meeting. Okay, let's, January 27th, make a motion, anyone, you got a motion in a second? Any other discussion on that meeting, on the minutes? Anybody, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, now, the other one is the public hearing and special meeting, okay? And that's kind of, why did the attorney, want this in our minutes? Should it be in our minutes?
They probably get paid by the pound, but I don't know. It's a different bond counsel than we've used in the past. Bond counsel we had, Attorney Fozzie retired, and sold his practice to this firm.
Okay. Make a motion to approve those minutes.
Which ones are we doing here?
January 27th,
Oh, the
public
public
hearing and all that.
Motion to approve January 27th, 2025, public hearing and special meeting. Second.
Okay, any discussion on that? Okay, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, so we get that. All right. Amendments to the agenda. You didn't put down that'll be an amendment, the assessor.
I put it on as number 7A, as 2024 grant list review.
Okay,
Okay.
well, we might get there quick. Okay, there are no amendments then. Okay, audience of citizens, our usual crowd will be here, audience of citizens. In old business, there's none, new business, okay, now. Everybody has it in their back pages here, the assessment, the grand list, okay? And,
Is this the one dated February 13th?
yeah. We got a grand total on the grand list of two billion, 303, 958, 162. And it's up. Quite a bit. It's right after the last month, right after the last, on the last minutes.
before the transfer.
Okay.
No, it's in the section. Okay, I'll find it. Go ahead, Jim. There you go.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay, so, the grand list is up this year. Of course, we had reval, all right, from last year. And we also, I sent out to everybody how the motor vehicles have changed. And the motor vehicles is always higher than personal property. Not always, but it's higher than personal property. But this year, you can see, they're very close. And, there's a lot of towns, there's a town close to us, their grand list actually went down. They have over a $6 billion grand list, it went down because of the motor vehicles, okay? So either everybody drives an old Studebaker, or it's gone down. So Penny's here to see, so in case anybody here has any questions on the grand list that we're gonna have this year, that we're using. My first question is this final, this grand list, Penny?
Yes.
It is. This is what we're going with, okay? And all the stuff that you were getting in question, Jim, with the people working on the reval, that's all set?
Yep.
Okay,
Obviously, there'll be changes, people will go to Board of Tax Review, Board of Assessment Appeals, and there'll be some pluses, there'll be some minuses, but
When is
this is.
that?
What's that?
When is that?
Let me ask the brains of the operation.
Okay, so, I had a month extension to finish the grant list, so usually it is, they need to hit in their application by February 20th, they meet in March. This with the month extension, they have to have all their applications to meet with the board on March 20th, and they're meeting with them in April.
Okay. And where do we fill out a form or whatever?
You fill out a form saying that you can test your assessment.
Okay, so where do we get the form? Is it online?
It's online, or you can come to the assessor's office.
Could I have one?
Yeah.
Thank you.
Typically, is there a lot of, movement in the assessments based on the appeals that people make, or is it generally not much?
It's really not much, because, we do have a certified revaluation company do the current appraisals, and all it is current market value. There's really not much you can discuss about current market value. The best thing the appellants should have done is called the informal hearings, the reval company, and said, my basement's not finished, you have me as a finished basement. I only have 2 bathrooms, that you have me down for 3.5. I mean, that's what, but anyways, go on.
can you give us like a quick overview of this year's grand list? Like what the reval did to it, and, what the motor vehicle did, okay, where you're getting that, but in personal property. Is there any big change this year? The reval, obviously, how much, you have a number like what was done with the reval, the property that got reevaluated? It was so let's say somebody's house was assessed for $300,000, and this year it's $400,000. Do you have a list of something like that, or with the $100,000 to show just the assessment? The grand list went up just because of reval. The grand list didn't go up because of all that building.
Yes, it went up because of the reval and up because of the market. I do have down that, residential dwellings went up 41%.
Is that's on the reval, or is that, okay,
This is the reval. Residential dwellings went up 41%, condos went up 50, an average of 53%.
condos did?
No, and I have a commercial, I forgot the commercial.
Condos 53,
Yeah, and what about residential?
it's residential,
This what, how much?
41.
So just curious, and maybe this is not, we can't even answer this question yet. So if your grand list went up 29% and your residential, assessed value went up 41%, is it likely that that person would see a tax increase this year?
I'll answer that for Penny. On the raw numbers, yes, but the bottom line is gonna depend on what cars you're driving.
Yeah.
If you're driving the Mercedes or the Lexus, you're probably gonna save more on your motor vehicle than your house will go up. If you're driving the 2005 Nissan, you're probably gonna see an increase. So it's really gonna depend on the type of car you have.
Okay.
So a lot of these towns are taking a beating on motor vehicles, they're gonna take a beating on that. And what people understand with the personal property, okay, even though you have businesses, a lot of the personal property, manufacturing personal property, a lot of their stuff could be exempt. And also, you got a depreciation schedule. So each year it's going down even though you got the same piece of equipment. So that's why personal property, you know, it's tough to have that thing grow.
It is, especially in this economy. You know, people don't wanna spend money, or it's just too expensive to spend money on buying new. So they're, you know, keeping their old stuff, or buying older stuff, or buying used stuff, or something like that. But yeah, no, personal property, yeah, unfortunately, went down.
Do you know, just not the exact number, but from 2022 to 2023, did personal property go down?
Last year,
I don't think
Yeah.
it did.
I don't think it went up.
Do we
I'm
have
not
that data
sure.
somewhere? Like if we were to say, hey, we wanna see, since, I'm making this up, 2015 to now, each year's component of residential, commercial, and condos?
I don't know if it's in one database, but it can be put together.
Okay.
We do have the grand list in town clerk's
The grand list.
But that's the overall
If you
grand
kept-
list.
If you kept your old budgets, the grand list was in each.
Yeah, no, I get the grand list, but you know, how much the components that go into the grand list, you know?
When it goes up, people, if they didn't, you would think, okay, Oxford got a lot of building, a lot of industrial, a lot of area. The reval's most of our deal here. So, anything else, anything that's was the problem, anything you see with the town, any trends there?
Okay, we did have a lot of statute changes for October 1st, 2024. Okay, one was, the motor vehicle. We did go by with a different, what was it called? It was called the depreciation schedules. Usually we would go with the NADA books, it would give us average retail. And we took 70% of average retail to get the assessment. 2024, the new statute is we are taking MSRP. And then we're going with a state did a statutory depreciation schedule. I have a copy of it right here. And they give different years.
I think I gave it to
Okay.
But the MSRP at what point? If it was a brand new vehicle? So let's say I drove a 2006.
Well, they go
Mercedes.
2006 and they use the depreciation schedule,
Okay.
okay?
So-
The year, that's where they get the price from 2006, and then 2006 is the depreciation on that,
Okay.
times 70%,
Okay.
Correct.
okay?
There was another, part of the grand list, code 11. A motor vehicle has different codes for all the vehicles, I think regular passenger cars, a code 1, commercial vehicles, a code 2, they go all the way down the list, I think, 43 or something. Code 11s were, it was kinda like a camp trailer. It was a, utility trailer. It was something that, a boat trailer, that's what code 11s are. The new statute was, we are not going to tax any personal use vehicles. So a lot of my code 11s got exempt. I had to go through it big time to see if there was a coachman, or if there was a, forest, you know, different ones that I noticed that were a motor home or something like that. But the majority of code 11 got exempt.
So if somebody had a $200,000 motorhome, they used to pay us about $5,000 in taxes, now they're not gonna pay anything.
Motorhomes are not campers. Okay, motorhomes, I believe, are code 31, and
Okay.
hopefully that's how the motor vehicle coded it, and they didn't code it into a code 11. If I didn't recognize the name, it did get
Okay, so
exempt.
I'll rephrase it, if somebody had an $80,000 camper that they
Okay.
had to tow behind their pickup truck.
Yep.
That's now exempt from taxes.
Correct. Correct.
Well, I always like to know, how do these things get into the legislature? How do they get there? Who's got I can tell you one I can pick up because it's, where is it? All-terrain vehicle. A lot
Okay.
of those are floating around, and I can tell you, you think of those as maybe out in the woods, those are inner city, and they don't wanna be taxed on those. Those are, that, I can see where that exactly came from, I know who did it, okay? But who lays awake at night thinking of the rest of this stuff?
I know. It's so
Really?
true. It's so true.
You have to pay tax on an all-terrain, ATV?
Not anymore.
Not anymore.
Okay.
If you had to register it, yes. You know what I mean? But no, not
But
anymore.
mine that I have at home and I pull firewood around within my yard and all, no.
It's all personal property.
Yeah.
My question is on contractors.
Okay.
Let's
I was
say,
just gonna bring that up.
let's say I own a dump truck and I'm working in Oxford. And my dump truck, I leave it here, and it's here October 1st. Am I taxed in Oxford or am I taxed back to where it came from?
3-month rule. 3 months before October 1st, wherever it's at. If your business is in Monroe, but you were doing work in Oxford, up to 3 months as of October 1st, Oxford if it was in Oxford gets to claim it.
They do.
Yeah,
But that's only if you know about it.
correct. Correct.
Yeah. Well, and there was some serious cases way back when those multi-million-dollar cranes were left in a town. And you don't wanna leave it, let's say, in New Haven versus in Oxford. Because the taxes would be half of what it is there. That's where we came into play. For that kind of money, people would pay attention.
That happened to us when the power plant was being built. It was like $15 million worth of cranes up there.
There you go, yeah. And the other thing I question is the airport. Okay, how do we get payment in lieu of for the airport? Because there's not big buildings up there, and we were supposed to get payment in lieu of, and we haven't. There's big buildings up there, they're not taxed. And I can tell you, cause one of my clients, he's a pilot, he's got a place up there, and he paid, years ago, he paid $70,000 for his hangar, okay? But you own it, you pay the $70,000, and after 20 years, you give it back to the state. I don't know how that works. They don't, he's still up, he don't know how it works either, I can't tell you the truth. But all these buildings, and that big building they just put up, that thing's huge, okay? We're getting zero for it, right? They're flying over our heads, they're flying in our town, we're getting zero, and we were supposed to get payment in lieu of from the state.
We do get a payment in lieu of taxes for all state property in town.
Right.
But what comes from the airport, I have no clue.
That's a significant number.
We only get about $150,000, $200,000 for everything in town, including the forest land and.
If that was taxed personally, that airport, that would be that'd be the largest taxpayer in Oxford.
That would be a lot of revenue. Yes, it would.
We don't tax the planes?
I know the office is undergoing a lot of issues lately with people leaving. So how are we proactively going out there to find?
Well, we just went through the revow,
Yeah.
and that's what was, giving all the permits and everything else from.
Is that a physical reval, or is this sort of like a drive-by, or are they not even actually going and inspecting anything?
They don't.
No,
No.
this was a 5-year revow.
Which
This
was
statistical, considered a statistical evaluation, where
okay.
they sent out data mailers to begin with, where you had to,
Mhm.
fill out what was in your house, and they went from sales after that.
Yeah,
Next 5 years is going to be a full revow.
yeah, but in the interim, between now and the next 5 years, how do we know if somebody's got 10 taxable vehicles and they're only paying tax on one versus the other 9?
Correct.
What, how?
We don't.
How do,
Registration from Department of Motor Vehicles.
But
Okay.
motor vehicle
As long as they have them
registration
registered. If they
Right.
have 10 sitting in their yard, and they're not registered, number one, it's a zoning problem, and number two, we wouldn't know about it.
Penny, is the appeals form available online now?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it is?
Yeah.
Okay.
Under-
Because last
under
time I
the-
checked, it was not.
Oh, it's been up there for a good month and a half.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
She wants to raise her assessment.
She's dying
This
for
is
that
the-
form.
this is the-
Yeah,
not the other-
yeah.
Mine went up 78%.
Okay.
Wow, 78.
That's a lot.
Do you live in one of the condos?
I live in Meadowbrook, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
78% though, and
They weren't assessed high enough the last rebound. The condos.
but
were
no one
not.
else's went up that, on my street and, you know, in the neighborhood, no one else's went up that high.
Okay.
And, you know, I did go through the informal hearing,
Okay.
so I'm gonna take it to the next,
Level.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, just for them to take a look at it.
Mm-hmm.
After the meeting, can you give me your address? And
Sure.
Penny and I can take a look at it tomorrow. So,
Of course,
just out of curiosity.
yeah, of course. Thank you.
So, when we had reval, okay, and the percentage is that like 41% is like,
Just
How-
an average.
it's just an
An
average.
average,
So somebody else could go up 100%, you can go.
Correct.
And what's the fact, let's say somebody's in a neighborhood, got a house, and didn't do any major repairs, okay? And, their assessment went up, just like 50%.
Okay.
Could that be possible?
Yes, good.
It could,
Mm-hmm.
okay? I thought there was a limit, like, if your house was, so many years old, and you had that assessment value, you could only go up a certain amount. No, huh?
It's all market. It's all market.
It's all market, so all the houses around you go for $20 million. You can't be assessed for $200,000 unless it's a tool shed, yeah? Okay.
Exactly. And, I'm sorry, what's,
So-
okay, so can I just give my opinion with going to
Of course,
this,
of course.
hearing that you wanna
Yes.
go to? The best thing to do is compare yourself apples to a neighbor or someone that has the same model unit as yourself.
Okay,
This is what the, Board of Assessment Appeals does compared to the revow.
right, they're all pretty
Okay.
much the same.
Okay,
They're
then you have nothing to fight about.
Yeah,
It's a market.
no, the units are pretty much the
Okay.
same, I'm saying, but
Okay.
mine went up to 78%.
Okay, but in the way of the assessment, how are your assessments compared to being all the same? Do you have?
As the neighbors, you mean?
Yes.
Oh, I
Are
don't
you
know.
higher? Are you higher than anyone that you're the same?
I don't know.
That's what you need to
You
agree.
and I can take a look at it, just out
But
of
how would I
curiosity.
know?
see
I
it
mean, go
tomorrow.
ask
Well,
my
you
neighbors?
can look at it online.
Yeah,
Okay.
You can look at everybody's address and see what their values are.
yeah.
This is something that you have to, this is the board that you'd have to compare yourself to.
Okay.
You know, saying, oh, same exact as mine, my neighbor is the same exact as mine, the same model, same bedroom.
Yeah, I don't
same
know if any of
whatever.
them are the exact, but close enough.
Close,
Yeah,
close enough,
of
you
course.
know what I mean? And their assessment is $50,000 less than mine. This is something you're gonna have to bring to this board.
Okay, thank you.
So, this, you're just still down that manpower, right? For the-
Yeah.
The office.
Trying to keep a good attitude. It's miserable.
I thought they hired somebody at the last Board of Selectmen's meeting.
We do have a girl, that transferred from the library.
Okay.
Library knows nothing about assessments,
Assessments,
cars,
nothing, yeah.
knows nothing. So I feel like I'm still alone. Like I said, I'm doing the best I can with what I got.
Well, I understand it's tough hiring people here anyway, we don't even get applications for people for jobs. And that's the other thing I wanna talk to you about after, is, I want that guy's name, remember he did the work for me in the municipalities? He did he looked up a few things for me, I lost his number. I wanna-
I'm lost.
The municipality, we belong to the municipality code, town
Oh.
council, yeah,
Kevin Maloney. probably.
yeah, that's it. Okay. Yeah, it's gonna be tough, and I don't know if it's the salary, some people tell me the salaries are too low in this town, okay, I don't know. And they also tell me the benefits are pretty standard for the municipalities. I don't know, look, it could be, but I'd like to some kind see it for myself, okay? On this, I don't know what's going on. But you definitely need somebody in that office.
I think it's the, salary, and I also think if, like, no one's hiring in the whole assessment field. No one's hiring, there's so many openings everywhere.
Everywhere.
For me to get someone, I have to get someone from a different town, but we have to give them money.
The person that left the office went to another municipality, and I believe he got a $40,000 raise.
Doing the same thing.
As the head assessor or no?
I can tell you, you know, the small towns, you know, in Litchfield County and everything, they're more informal. Like, the tax like works there 1 day a week,
Yes.
okay? You gotta call to find out what his schedule is if you wanted to see him. The assessor the same way, okay? So they don't really, you know, they don't put that big salary, but they don't, you know, you're just as a maybe, just a 1 day a week employee, if that, all right? If they, but you still get a certain salary, but certainly nothing. It's tough to hire, you can't hire. They put signs out for people to run for boards in certain towns, nobody wants to do it.
And I feel sorry for Penny, man. I pulled in the parking lot this morning at 7:15, and she was right in front of me. And she's still here at 7 o'clock tonight and hasn't gone home.
You think the guy would have bought you a donut or something?
No.
So, I don't know.
Did file a grievance because it wasn't jelly.
Yeah.
How's our assessment stacked up for lifetime towns? Assessor, our grand list total.
Ours compared to a different town?
No, we can't compare to Shelton. 'Cause they got 44,000 people, 44,000 people there.
Yeah, no, I did not look into other
Didn't look.
people's towns, no. I did
But not everybody did an assessment this year, right?
No.
We were
Well,
moving
there's a-
forward, right, by a year?
Wasn't
Right,
it
yeah.
at one time, it was, years ago, it was every 10 years statewide?
Yeah.
What happened to that?
Back in the 80s and 90s, when real estate prices were booming, when you did it every 10 years, you'd have assessments that would double and triple.
Okay,
So then they said, no, let's do it originally it was 4 years, wasn't it? Then they moved it to 5?
It was 10.
No, it was 10, but then
Oh.
they knocked it down.
Okay, yeah, no, I don't think it was ever 4.
Okay.
I don't think it was ever 4.
so I mean, is what it is, I guess. And the surprising thing is, it's just not the personal property, and personal property is down, that's because of the depreciation schedule working against us, right? On the personal property,
And it's because of Algonquin Gas, and they came up with a big, when we went through their settlement with them,
yeah,
you know, and they came up with their own depreciation table.
okay, that's out of there, the gas, yeah.
That's like another thing. I do have a couple more things with the grand list on the code 11s. Ones that I did not exempt on the code 11s were ones that were in company names. Company names, and there wasn't many, but I made sure I pulled up company names and taxed those code 11s. For real estate, there was a veterans discount, a major veterans discount. It's called the totally and permanently disabled veteran, where they get their whole house exempt. Supposedly the state did a research on all towns in Connecticut and said, oh, well, Oxford has maybe 5, and, you know, Stoughton has maybe 4, and, you know, oh, it won't affect their, you know, their,
Grand total.
Their grand total, their revenue, whatever, you know, totally incorrect.
Is that only for veterans?
It's
Total,
disabled.
disabled for veterans only? So if somebody's totally disabled, they're not a veteran?
No.
So, okay.
No, it's veterans only, veterans only. So I think we have a total of 12 to 14. If they don't own a house, they get a vehicle exempt. And it came up to like, came up to an exemption of like $2 million. But it's not set in stone yet. They're still discussing this with the legislative branch, council, or whatever, saying, are you sure this is what you wanna do? Your statistics did not match what you thought it was gonna match up to. So it's still a bill, a new bill is being written to, see if it can get passed, to see if maybe they could, I don't know, get better wording into it. Maybe at first it was T&T, totally and permanently disabled, and they have a percentage on their, Veterans Administration paper saying they have a different percentage of disability. So at first it didn't matter what the percentage was, if the wording said they were totally and permanently disabled, they get the house exempt. We do have one person that's 60% disabled that has a TMP on it, you know what I mean? Which I think that's something they're gonna talk about. The main thing they're gonna talk about, what exactly are you looking for? What exactly do you want? So I think that, and the people that I did give it to this year, I'm telling them there might be a change. There might be a change. I don't know, but there might be a change.
Well, in this total, we still could add in supplementals, the grand list,
Oh, well, yeah, next January.
no, so the.
January of 26, they got added in.
Meaning motor vehicle?
Yes,
Okay, motor vehicle. That's a new statute also.
Oh, no.
A new statute also. I'm getting a list of motor vehicles monthly of who registered the month before. The collector's office and I decided to, get that list of who registered October, November, December, before the bills sort of thing. Get 6 months, I have to price them all, whatever. Bill those first 6 months into the June or July billing as a supplemental, but they're gonna be billed as it's a regular motor vehicle also for the July cycle instead of January. There is gonna be a January cycle, but it's gonna be condensed because we're billing more than 6 to 7 months in July.
You're gonna need 2 more people in your office.
It's crazy. I mean, these statutes, I don't know what they're doing, but they're going crazy with the statutes this year.
boy. That's why people don't realize that one of the reasons it's tough to hire people in the assessor's office. Because, it's
There's a lot of change.
a lot of changes, and you gotta stay on it and stuff. I mean, if you make a mistake, it's, I had a client that he had a factory building, and his assessment went up like 100%. Let's say it was assessed for $1 million. They assessed him for $3 million. It was just a clerical error. Okay, well, boy, you never saw a guy go down the town hall that fast in your life. But people do make clerical errors. What I fear is when people get a clerical error and they don't pick it up and they don't know, they be paying extra taxes and not realizing that they are paying extra taxes. And that will happen.
So at this point, I'm just curious, so you're like the expert, you're the head, you know all the rules, or, as they come out. The help that you need, is it simply, and I don't use the word loosely, is it simply like data entry? Is it checking things? Is it forms? Is it require like a technical expertise? Or like what help do you need?
Okay, so Kristen asked me this, oh, well, what is this? The personal property is just data entry, right? Well, it's a lot of data entry, but it's knowing what to data enter. It's knowing where to find what to data enter, you know what I mean? It's,
But if you train somebody,
if you,
then and they do it, over the course of a few days or a week, then it becomes sort of repetitive, right? So it's just a lot of that, right?
So, learning curve.
Well,
But
yeah.
it's hard if you're the only person, you have to get the work done, keep
Well,
up
yeah.
and train somebody, so it's hard.
But once they know it though, it's just like a repetition.
well, once they know it, but then
Yeah.
again, we only come to data entering personal property once a year. You know what I mean? A year goes by, then the year comes back when they have the data entered again, and I still go through that. Oh, I have to do supplemental motor vehicle, I forgot how to do it, how?
So during
pricing that.
reval, you really need to staff up essentially, and then as reval ends, you sort of could.
No,
Well,
it's every
that's
year.
not, No, we just,
Okay.
it's not just a reval, it was just a
And
reval
it's-
year.
You might be doing personal property in November and December, and then January and February might be the elderly exemptions, and
The homeowners
then it's
now.
the homeowners, and then it's the veterans, and then it's the disabled,
It's
and then
over.
you don't come back to, doing the personal property for another year.
Correct,
And that the problem is, do you still have the person after the year?
right.
Business rental income, I think that's in June. Yeah, we
Oh,
report-
the income and expense?
Yeah,
Income and expense is
In-
also
yeah, in June,
something,
yeah.
yeah.
so, wait.
Oh, Nogatok called me on the motor vehicle. They're down, I think they're down, we went down like 18% or something, they were down around about the same thing as we were. They called me, I had that down there, sorry.
Well, there was a town that they did a lot of building. And even with a lot of building, the grand list went down because of the motor vehicles, can you believe it? There must be some pretty, expensive motor vehicles there. It's only, or a lot of new ones, cause that's 80%.
Yeah.
Anybody got any questions for Penny? Anybody, besides Sue?
Sorry, Penny.
Beyond the one person that the board of selectmen just hired or is transferring, how many more people do you need?
Oh, meaning in the office?
Yeah.
In the office,
Answer that two ways. Number one, how many do you need, and then how many positions do you have vacant?
It's a different number.
yeah.
Well, there were only three
okay.
people in there,
I
right?
was gonna
But
say,
that's not saying what she needs.
Yeah.
let me just tell you, before I came, I know there was 3.5.
Okay.
Okay, when I stepped aboard, it was 2 plus me, and then it just kept on dwindling down and down and down. I was working with 2, just me and Kevin that left to go to Rocky Hill, but the increase in pay. I was working with 2 of us for over a year. And that was shaky, but we were staying above water. But then when he left, and I had the grand list to do, and we were doing the reval, it was just
So
crazy.
you need 2 people then, right now,
2 more people, yes.
in addition to the one that they are transferring, or just 2 total?
I would say, give me 1.5, I'll be happy. 1.5 more.
A person in personal property, doing what they're doing, could pay for themselves. In personal property, could pay for themselves.
They could.
Yep.
Doing audits and everything
Sure.
else like that.
Doesn't one of them have to do field work, like go out? So who's doing that right now?
I
Nobody?
don't know.
Nobody.
Well, no one's doing it right now.
The position that's vacant, is that an assistant assessor or deputy? What is it?
We have an assistant, yes, in the paper right now.
Oh, that was my next question, if it's,
Yes.
okay. When, do you know when it closes? Or when, yeah?
We
When
did
the
an
deadline?
interview just recently, I hope it's open until it gets filled. You know.
We advertised it in the Waterbury Republican for a week, we advertised it in Voices for 2 weeks. We
We
had
have
2,
it on my website,
we
the
had-
Assessors Association website. We
Is
have
this for an
it on-
experienced person?
Yep. We had 2 applicants. One showed up for the interview, the other one didn't show up for the interview.
But what about like recent college grads who have accounting degrees or finance degrees who are looking for jobs?
They could apply.
Why can't we proactively like solicit like local colleges?
You know, I heard that my association went to a job fair, you know, to promote assessors, and maybe 1 or 2 people stopped by. That was it.
A real popular job,
And
isn't it?
they probably don't even know what it is, you know, I don't know.
I gotta listen to YouTube, they can't be tied down with a job. I don't know. Years ago, municipal jobs, people used to stand in line to get them. Now, nobody wants it. Nobody, this big negative about municipal, I don't know what the problem. It's hard.
I think it's working in an office and that, people are getting used to working at home. You know, and this job is not working at home.
Do you ever see an AI helping, big help into your assessor's office? advanced artificial intelligence.
Oh, we are, it's really getting, very popular, especially with the condos, in the way of, I had a lot of seminars on, artificial intelligence. It's helping in the way of just collecting all the data and being like, oh, well, this condo right here has the perfect walkout basement and has a nice yard where all their neighbors have a finished basement. Why doesn't this one? Or go check this one. This one might be finished also.
I think that would be if you got that AI working there, that's a big home run.
Really starting
I
to
think, Brett?
boom. Yes.
Well,
yes.
the thing, but all AI tools require somebody to enter the data.
Oh, yeah.
And then the AI tool will do the analysis,
Yeah.
but you still have to
But
feed
you
it
still
the
put the
information.
boundaries in
Right.
for the assessor, the boundaries of what you got, and then you gotta tune your own AI.
Yeah.
I see a lot of places are, I saw, I saw one with the AI, they pick strawberries or now, on a little cart going, yeah. It's gonna be that, someday it's gonna be that way. Okay, anybody got any other questions for Penny? Anybody want a job in the assessor's office?
Seriously, if you have anybody that you know, the assessor's office with, what does it take, 3 or 4 years to go through the certification?
I'll do a definite 4 years now. They're adding more courses into it.
But after 4 years, you can walk out and you'd be getting a job over $100,000 a year.
But does the person have to be certified that you're gonna hire?
We are kind
You're-
of recommending that.
We have 2 positions,
One
one
that
being a senior
certified,
clerk,
right.
in case the person's not certified but is a very good candidate,
Okay.
they'd be hired as the senior clerk. If they are certified, they'd be hired as the assistant. Similar to what happened in the tax office.
Right.
What about somebody just to help with workload right now?
Takes,
I
if you knew
got
they were,
that.
if you knew they were gonna stick around,
Yeah.
fine and well, but to get like a temp in there or something, it takes longer to train them
Exactly.
and to double check everything they're doing.
We need the right person.
So like a floater couldn't come in and help, right?
I
Yeah,
did
good.
have an intern this past summer,
Yeah.
and it didn't really
College,
work.
high school?
It was college. And, yeah, it was a lot of training for her to get up and go back to school. You know what I mean? It was kind of discouraging.
Yeah, cause it takes a lot of time.
It takes a lot of time, exactly, and next thing you know, they're gone.
And we'll see, if the job market dries up, you'll have a line out there, it might dry up. You don't know, I don't know. So. Anybody else got any questions? Anybody? Okay, thank you, Penny.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Have a
Thank
good
you.
night. Have a good night.
Your turn to bring donuts in the morning.
What did he say?
We were trying to bring the donuts.
Oh, it's my turn.
Well, man, I got a deal, I'll give you the money for them if you stop at Dottie's and.
I was gonna say, there's a Dottie's, I have a Dottie's, I can do that, I can do that.
I'll buy if you fly.
Come on. Applications are online, you want me to get you one now? I'll get one.
If you don't mind, thank you. I appreciate it.
Okay.
She is a workhorse.
I wouldn't wanna be in that office alone during this time.
No, because I could tell you, personal property could be a full-time job if you're doing it right, okay? You know that, Jim, the manufacturing, on the other side of it, depreciation schedule there is wrong, you go crazy, right? You go crazy. Somebody's in there
You're
that's,
the only person doing all that.
Yeah.
It doesn't make it, seem
Yeah.
a lot of room for error.
oh, sure, oh, sure. And the error there is somebody's tax bill.
And if you're undertaxing me, you'll never hear about it.
That's happened in the past, we had undertaxed for years, certain people, okay? Okay, transfers, 2024, this can't be,
Oh, cut and paste.
huh?
It's 25, 26.
I was gonna say
24,
2024 and 25,
24, 25.
I think we put that one to, okay, this is,
Yeah.
August.
Yep.
so this is, oh,
That's what you get when you have a
25, 20.
5 people running on 2.
So this is what,
24, 25. Okay. It's the year we're in right now, we gotta,
oh, thank you, Connie,
Okay, you're welcome.
appreciate it. Thank you.
okay.
At least you can get some
Understand
mental
why.
satisfaction if you find out that all your neighbors are at the same price you are or something.
They're not though, cause I got their percentages. But
Yeah, but that could
You
mean
might
that
have
you
been
might have been
under-
lower the last time or something, that's what I'm looking
how
at.
could I be the only one that was lower last time? You know, I don't know, that doesn't make
You're the only
sense.
one higher,
What?
right now.
She's got them locked in her cell or
You never
something.
know.
I would make a joke, but I can't since we're on tape for film.
All right, first one is the, senior bus contingency. And what happened here?
This is to cover our over of the grant, right?
This is to cover the grant, we're getting a roughly $80,000 bus for $16,000.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'll make the motion to approve this transfer.
And they did come to you a couple months ago, but we didn't know whether we were gonna get delivery this
Yeah.
fiscal year or next fiscal year.
Yes, sir.
Second,
Second, okay. Any other discussion on this? All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, this is, what do we got in that contingency?
About 390,000, I think.
We're down to that?
No, we never spent, we spent like 5,000 out of it this year so far. The
Because
only
we
thing
put,
that came out of it,
we put the money in there for the salaries
Yeah.
originally.
Yeah.
the only thing that came out of it so far was, $5,000 for the food bank.
Well, did he say the salaries came out?
No, we put money in there to cover potential
We did,
salaries.
But you didn't,
Nothing's been transferred yet.
nothing's been transferred?
When I say salaries, I'm referring to new hires
Oh,
for the
oh,
people who were expected to leave as of June 30th. And we were hoping that we would be hiring people to get them ready to take over July
Okay,
1st.
and I thought you were talking about the salary increases that we
No,
for
no, 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 no,
supervisors
no.
and that, because I don't know where that's been factored.
No.
Okay, the pool pack, 5,800. We approved that. Now, what's the problem with the pool pack? Somebody told
When
me,
they
makes a
took
lot
the,
of
old- when
noise?
they took the old one down and they, all the ductwork underneath it was rusted out, they had to replace the ductwork.
Well, somebody told me it's really noisy now.
I've had 2 people complain to me that it's noisy. I went to Mike D'Agostino and he said it's normal, that's the way it's gonna be,
So this is noisier than the one they took out.
much noisier. From what people told me,
The other one insulated?
I don't know.
Is it noisy where you gotta get out of the building? You know?
I had 2 people complain to me, that's all I can tell you. I haven't been in a high school in years.
I'd rather it be noisy and work than not work.
Well, I'll tell you, it sounds like usually new stuff runs quieter, I would think.
Yeah, but maybe they did something with the insulation.
Yeah.
Maybe it was just 2 people
Lumber was
complaining. Maybe, I don't know. I'll find out.
I'd agree with Paula, it's probably that something
They
installation
might
wise
be able to do something to.
to dampen it
Yeah.
somehow.
I'll find out for you. Okay. All right, all in favor of taking out a contingency? That's what we have originally.
aye,
Opposed? Anything? Okay. Elections primary, $168.
I'll make a motion to approve. Do we know what that's for? Is it food?
There's backup.
No, it
Oh.
was expenses. Ballots.
Is this one?
Any discussion on this? You approved it all? Everybody approved? Okay. And the last one here is Public Works truck, finance. Okay, 46,000? I know what that is, that's Wayne's Chevrolet, the frame is rotted.
Here's 4 pictures, you can flip through them, you can see the shocks broke right off of it, cause the frame is like Swiss cheese.
little rusted, huh?
Did we discuss this at all during our budget? I thought there was
No,
some.
it just
You
found
didn't
it
know
out.
any- Truck looked beautiful.
Oh, it did, okay.
But then it was running rough and they took the back off to see what it was and found out the shocks had completely disconnected from
For
the
some
frame.
reason, I thought, I remember there being a public works vehicle, in the capital plan. Is this just a completely different vehicle?
There was, well, it was way
And
over
the
warranty.
gas tank in this was being held on by a nylon strap.
I gotta say, my Toyota truck out there, the frame had rust on it, rusted. And I was gonna get rid of it, and, one of my clients says, what are you doing? I says, I'm gonna get rid of it. He goes, I'll fix that, and he fixed it. They welded a whole new pieces underneath there, it's actually better than what came out of the factory, okay? But I looked at Wayne's, and you can't do it, there's nothing to weld to, there's nothing there. Which is surprising, it's a beautiful truck, right? It's a beautiful truck, but, you know, Fords and Chevrolets, they're Rustoramas.
What was this being used for?
That's Wayne's truck.
So it's just for him to drive
Yeah,
around?
it's got
in?
175,000 miles on it.
Oh, I don't know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Motion to approve.
But it just seems, the price seems low there.
Second. Oh, go
Yeah.
ahead, Paul got it.
The 46 we'll get was for a Ford. The 43 was for a Chevy. They wanted to go with the Ford because the Chevys are known for the rust.
Yeah. So this seems, okay, this seems low.
What,
They have quotes on them.
what will happen with the existing vehicle?
The existing vehicle? It'll probably be junked, because you can't drive it.
Is there a cost associated with the dispersal or the?
We'll probably end up,
Can they trade it in? Can they take it from?
The tires, how much the
If you
tires
put,
worth?
if you put,
Should we say the tires?
5 people in that truck, it's gonna
Yeah.
sink in the middle.
somebody that's in the auto body business would probably love to have it, because the.
I was gonna ask,
Don't
I was gonna ask the guy that did my truck, if he wants to take a look at it.
What's that?
The guy that did my truck, he wants to take a look at that truck. But looking at those pictures, I don't think so.
But even if he does, so what? I mean, a guy needs a new truck, you know?
Yeah.
Well, this is, for pickups, there's a demand.
No, I know, I'm saying even if it's like Paul had said, donate it to a school who wants to do repairs.
You can't, that's not roadworthy, that truck is in violation on the road, sure.
Yeah.
You can't drive it.
Tow it over.
That could come apart while you're driving.
Yeah.
Literally, the front left shock and the back right shock are not attached to anything. And the gas tank, which is behind the driver, is being held on by a nylon strap because there's no metal bolted to it.
I can picture Wayne floating down the road. Okay, we're all in favor of the truck?
Aye.
Yeah,
I just have a quick question though, like, how does it get to that point without anybody realizing it?
That's
Like, don't they go through maintenance?
That's there's the $1 million question right there.
Because, I mean, how would you ever, first of all, from a safety perspective, attach a gas tank by a nylon strap? I mean, they physically did that.
Yeah, and I don't know if that could have happened when they took the body.
Yeah.
I just know when I went up and saw it, took pictures of it, had the nylon strap bolted
Yeah.
on there.
But if you got it up in the air, you'd see that in a minute. You tell me that they never did an oil change up there in that truck? Come on,
I don't wanna say it,
come on.
the mechanic we have up there, in my opinion, is phenomenal. So I don't wanna speak for him. I know Wayne never complains about anything. If you gave Wayne a tricycle with one tire on it, he'd just use it and.
Some of the things we drove in, Wayne had, he had an old police car at one time, you know?
Yeah, he didn't complain, I found out it.
Huh?
This was the first weekend he was home in 5 weekends that he didn't have to work.
Yeah. But don't forget, you had a three-year vacation. You had a 3-year vacation. So, I mean, that's part of the job. Okay, anything else we got here? Is that all for transfers, or?
That's it.
That's it. Okay, what do we got in the back here? We got the tax collection?
Yeah, and that's not gonna tell you anything until we get the February one, because the people that pay in the last couple days aren't in there, but by the end of February, you'll have a good idea where we can compare it to the prior years and see where we stand.
Well, the grace period is, grace period is February first.
I'm not sure what, February first, second, or third, and so but everybody's mailing them in, and we're behind at that point, so it's, probably a week's worth of deposits going in early February.
All right.
So we'll know next month.
As far as the aircraft is concerned, I know that's up over the budget. Is that more airplanes flying in that are, or is it, like, how is it that?
The tax collector has been going after people that haven't been paying in the past.
Okay, good.
She's
And she's another one, right?
she's on top of her job, I'll tell you that right now, she is.
I mean, she's a 9 to 5 person. When I came in tonight for the meeting, 6:15, her car was still in the parking lot.
She pays attention, because when you got all this, the old stuff we haven't collected, now's your time to go, as soon as you get past February.
But see, I think there are a lot of people like Helen around town who might be looking for work. It's just how do you get their attention,
Exactly.
you know? So,
Exactly. Well, word of mouth usually.
I think people are not, they're really not. If they're looking, they find them, 'cause there's a lot of jobs out there.
Hmm.
I can't find anybody. And the
Well,
people
then.
we find just, I don't know. Not quality?
Sometimes, you never know. You never know.
Makes you feel old. That's all I know.
Okay, so I think the last thing here is our schedule for the budgets. Okay, now, we could do Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday like we've been doing. And last year, we pushed it into 2 weeks, Jim?
I don't remember, to be honest with you. Last year was the days for me.
Oh, that's right, okay. So first of all, we don't need a quorum, so don't get excited if you can't make it. But I do insist, when I bring the Board of Education in here, everybody's here. So everybody has gotta tell me on that day. I'm gonna try to coordinate it with them, because obviously that's the biggest part of our budget, all right? And did everybody get a copy of their budget? Because it's on their website. If you did,
their final budget.
their final budget, well, their budget, yeah.
Isn't that this what we have here?
That was their preliminary one.
Now, the one we went to at that meeting, that was the superintendent's budget, okay? So that's the Dream On budget. Then the board itself, they had their meeting and told me that they're down, they were 4.8%, they're down to 4.4, and that's bare bones, okay? Now, with us, the problem is, we don't have a line item, but other towns, they tell them, drop programs, they drop teachers or what have you, it's, if you had to squeeze it into that budget, if it's bare bones. I don't know, but we'll hear them out. That's what we can do, and spend some time with this budget, so if people ask you what you did, you don't just say, well, I think 4%'s too much. You say, no, this is why I wanna cut this budget, or this is why I wanna add to this budget. It's open, and last year we went back and forth on it, right? And I say that one thing we did is we do put time into this budget, at least on the education side, that everybody on this board has an opinion, and every opinion is respected.
Jim, when are the individual department budgets due to you?
March 1st.
March 1st?
What do they do to me?
Yeah, because they go from the department to you.
Yeah.
And then from you.
Middle of January by charter.
Okay.
When do they realistically get to you?
Selectmen are supposed to give us the budgets,
Tomorrow.
March 1st, they're supposed to give us the budgets, the selectmen, to the Board of Finance.
No, after the first Wednesday in March.
Okay,
So they'll vote on, I don't know when that's, probably March 4th or so.
okay.
So when do you expect to have the department budgets? Do you have some already, or?
Oh, yeah. The selectmen are meeting on it, this Friday and possibly, so whenever they get done, going through it. So I have to have it done by Friday.
And then it will be available to us?
No, it'll be available to you after they vote on it next Wednesday.
Oh, okay.
And of course, they'll be doing the minutes,
What's that?
they'll be doing their minutes, right? The minutes when their meeting is going reviewed. course, right?
I'm not doing them.
Huh?
I'm not
I
doing
don't
them.
know who's gonna do them, but I'll tell you what, they went out of their way to make sure we did them. So if we do them, and they've got a quorum, if you got two people, you got a quorum over there. Good for us, good for them. So anyway, let's get back to the,
Tomorrow's posted is, FEMA, and then Wednesday, Thursday is finishing up the budget.
you scared by that talk about doing away with FEMA?
Not at all.
Huh?
Not at all.
I can tell you, VA, they canceled my doctor appointment. Okay, so maybe somebody, some word got out, okay?
The thing is, a state like California could take over FEMA because they have the resources to do it. A state like, go to the opposite end of the spectrum, Mississippi, there's no way they could fund it. If a storm came in off the Gulf, it's gotta be a national thing. But FEMA's gotten very difficult, I shouldn't say difficult, much more challenging. As in this storm, I have to break down the cost of each road and what equipment was on each road, and right now we're in discussions because Punkup Road intersects East Hill Road. So how much of the money was spent on East Hill Road fixing a culvert, and how much of it was spent on Punkup? You can't come up with those numbers,
Neither
but
can
they
I.
want.
But they can't either. So
Well,
you put down your
That's what
best
my
estimate.
meetings are. I can tell you the labor costs totally were $16,000, and that's what I'm gonna show them and say, where do you wanna put them?
So, let's do this, okay? Let's start our season off here in March. So we say that Monday, March 10th is a Monday.
What will be the start time?
Well,
We
that-
usually do
that's,
6.
we always start at 6. We'll vote on this. Who wants to start at 6 or wants to start any other time?
Lindsay won't be eating till 10 o'clock. We
Yeah.
start at 7.
I'm okay with 6, except I just started a new position that I'm in New Britain on Tuesdays until 5, so maybe make it back here for 6, just Tuesdays would be a request, like a,
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay, well, let's decide. Does everybody want to still go with the 6 o'clock? Is that a problem? Can everybody do that?
Yeah.
Okay.
other than Tuesdays.
Victor, what time's the card game?
7, so. We talk fast, we'll be all right.
So, let's agree it's 6 o'clock, okay?
Okay.
Okay, let's agree we start March 10th, that's the Monday? Can we do that?
Start with Board of Ed like you usually do?
Well, we already had a meeting with the Board of Ed,
Oh, okay.
I want to start with the ambulance, to tell you the truth, okay? And,
I just won't be here, as I was telling you, I think the week after, because I'll be traveling from Florida to California.
okay, so I'll make sure that
I'll miss you.
you're flying back though, right? Taking the car out?
Oh, no, we're driving the car across and then, I'll fly back. Aniela's moving out to San Francisco, she's got a job with the 49ers,
Oh, nice.
yeah.
That's
So,
exciting.
mm,
My old boss used to work for all the, I don't know how many sports teams.
yeah,
Okay, so what else that week?
So that's the 10th, okay?
Okay,
So we do that Monday, and you know what, Jim? I'll send you a list of the departments, and you can see if you can fill it, but let's just say March 10th. Okay, the 11th is a Tuesday.
Yep.
We always did Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday. Is that-
I can't do Thursday that week. That's the only day I can't do that week. But do
Well, we can always, we can schedule it, and as long as we don't get a department come, we can cut it out. We're flexible. Within that 3-week period, we'll have them all done. Okay, maybe you have to bring some people back a few times. Okay, March 10th, 11th, and that would be 13. Okay, then the next week would be, again, on a Monday, be March 17. Okay, and I'll filter it up. If we'll assign the departments. Okay, and we'll leave one, you're not
That's the week I'll be gone,
You'll be gone, so we definitely will not
the
do the
week the
Board of Ed.
17th.
Can everybody, the next week,
And I'm out on the 20th.
the 20th?
That's the same week.
Okay. So that week after, we'll probably see the Board of Ed here, okay?
The week of the 24th?
Yeah,
So what is gonna be March 17th, 18th, and 20th?
for now,
So what are we doing?
17, 18, and 20?
yeah. We're gonna send you a schedule, I just wanna make sure people are available,
All right.
okay? And,
And then the 24th, you wanna do, 25th,
24th,
and
when
27th?
is the board, what night does the board have their meetings, Tuesdays?
Board of Ed, I think,
Yeah,
so,
Tuesdays, yeah, so it can't be a Tuesday there, so it could be that the 24th.
That would be our regular meeting.
Oh, yeah,
On the 18th.
But we've done that before, where we do 6 to 7, and then 7 o'clock our meeting, and then we zone.
that,
Are we gonna do that?
we could do it with another department, not the Board of Ed.
No, I didn't mean the Board of
Yeah,
Ed.
okay, so that, if this thing doesn't stay on here, I'm sure.
So it would be 24, 25, and 27?
Yeah,
So we got 20, 24, 25, and 27.
Right, and then leave it for that.
okay,
And we'll-
24, 20, that's 3 weeks.
Yeah.
I think it'll do it. What do you think, Jim?
Okay, it's all in March.
It's all March, we got the whole month of April anyway.
Yeah.
So we gotta go back and finalize the darn thing.
Just gotta make sure the departments stay on track when they're in here making the presentations and don't start giving you 30-minute stories on why the Arts Commission needs $2,500.
I like that.
I think the week of the 17th, we should try to not put anything that's heavy duty, because that's gonna be out the whole week, and I
You're
have a
not gonna be
meeting on
there
the
the 20th.
18th, and the 20th I'm away,
Right.
so. Just throwing that out there.
Do the
Keep that
easy
way.
departments that week.
Huh?
Do the easy
The
departments
reason,
that week.
we got, yeah,
Yeah.
the one I wanna do first is the ambulance, as we all know, okay? And then, we'll line them up, we can put, like we always done, okay? Some of the easy departments we can go through. Like I say, we don't need a quorum and we don't vote, right? And that way, we get this thing through, then we got, in April, we can relax and figure out exactly what we wanna do for each department, what we wanna do, what we wanna do with the budget. Okay. And, well, grand list is up, expenses are up, so,
Department requests will be up.
yeah.
Apparently we don't pay enough, so,
Pardon?
apparently we don't pay enough.
Well, you know what? People say that. I wanna see that. I wanna see it. I wanna see it compared to other times. And then I'll say, if the numbers come out that way, that's fine, I'll agree to it. Don't forget, we hire somebody for 50,000, it costs us another 50,000. It's costing the town $100,000.
Understandably, but unfortunately, if the rest of the world is paying more, that doesn't help us to try to attract.
Well,
people.
it depends if they got benefits, you know? I had,
Don't they have to have benefits for full-time? I mean, a certain number of people, you have to have benefits.
you have to have benefits if they're full-time, yeah. But we'll see, it's, you know, hey, private entities out there looking for people too. And, some people want the moon, they want the benefits. People in private, they'll take the benefits over, the salary, okay? Or I turn around, they'll take the salary over the benefits, the other way around.
And that's
They want a higher salary.
exactly what we're finding.
Yeah,
Before, people wanted the medical insurance, they wanted the time off, now it's they want the bucks.
the bucks, they don't, yeah, one guy offered them putting the money into their pension plan. They said, no, we'll take the cash for bonus. Me, you know.
But then how would you handle it if they said, I want the salary, and just, okay. And then the next year's like, you know, I really think I do need the benefits now, even though their salary you've already.
Well, we can't do it because well, union
They
negotiated.
they got the contracts here, yeah.
Okay.
But, people, you know, it's hard, we'll see. I still say, you'll see, I think personally, you'll see a reverse in that in the job market. I think. And if AI does any more taking more jobs away, they're supposed to. Interesting. So, anybody else got anything? Anybody? Nothing? Nothing?
Motion to adjourn.
Second?
Second. All in favor?